Still don't know how to make this brighter. Welcome. Hello. My name is Alex. This is a beginner-friendly yoga practice. Mostly a full body stretch. No props required. Let's begin in a child's pose. Just getting this all set up. Big toes together, knees apart. On an exhale, walk your hands out and away from you. On another exhale, bring the forehead down to the mat. Allow yourself to be present just for a little bit every day. Have gratitude for the present moment. Arrive. Walk your hands in just enough to thread the right arm underneath the left. So palm is up. So thread the needle variation. Make a fist with the left hand and bring the forehead down. Relax the temples and your expression. Breathe in and out through the nose. Press into your left hand. Sit up. Walk the right hand forward. Left arm threads underneath. Palm up. Bring the forehead down to the right fist. I like this shoulder stretch because this variation of thread the needle, because there's less balancing required and it allows you to soften the upper body. Press up to a tabletop. Tuck the toes and let's draw some circles with the torso to the right, forward, back, and around. Just feeling out where you are today. Let's go both directions. You're also stretching through the tops of the feet. Feeling the weight redistribute between the hands. Okay, neutral spine, somewhere in the middle. Tuck your toes. Hover the knees 2 inches off of the mat. Shift your weight forward 2 inches. Feel the core engage. You're floating away from the mat. Lower the knees. Untuck the feet. 1 cat-cow. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Neutral. Tuck the toes and hover the knees. Bring the weight forward. Feel the knees or feel the legs engage. Smooth out the breath and set the knees down. Untuck the toes. 1 cat-cow. Inhale, arch. Round, exhale. Neutral spine. Reach the right leg up behind you. Let the knee face down. Reach the right leg away from you. Bend the right knee and draw some circles to the right, in, back, and around. Keep the elbows kind of soft so that the torso doesn't move too much. All right, right foot between the hands, kneeling lunge. Prop up onto your fingertips, shoulders away from the ears. Keep the front knee over the ankle. Maybe this will help. It's so dark. Feel the left hip flexor opening. I'm pretty sure this is a really easy fix. I just don't know how to do it yet. I'm too busy doing yoga all the time. All right, kneeling lunge. That's a little better. Half split. Sit all the way back onto the left heel or inside of the foot. Maybe you sit on a pillow, sit up tall, and lengthen out over the right leg. Whoa, okay. That feels like a lot, like it almost just did. You can keep the knee soft. And it's just a little bit at a time. If you're sore, you just don't push as hard sometimes. Strengthening your body-mind connection is part of what we're doing here. Sit up. Back to a kneeling lunge for a kneeling lunge twist. Left hand down, right hand on top of the right leg. And press down with the right hand. Bring the right shoulder back. Lower the right hand down to the mat. We're back to a tabletop. Tuck the toes, hover the knees, shift your weight forward 2 inches. Tabletop, one cat cow. Inhale, arch. Round, exhale. Neutral. Left leg back and up. Press down through the hands. Try not to sink into the shoulders. And not lower the left hip, but notice if it's opening to the side. Keep the spine long. Bend the left leg 90 degrees in circles. Out, down, and around. Bring your left foot between the hands. Kneeling lunge. You should feel this in the right hip flexor. Keep the front knee over the ankle. People are either too far back or too far forward. You want to be just right. Half split. Press back. Take your time. Sit up tall and lengthen out over the left leg. Why am I sore? Smooth out the breath. And be in every sensation. Remember, you're not assigning a like or a dislike even. It's just finding ease in the present moment, ease under stress. Imagine how that translates to real life. Who doesn't want to be calm when they're stressed? All right, enough stress talk. Let's shift forward, lunge. Kneeling lunge twist. Right hand down, left hand on top of the leg to press. Bring the right shoulder blade forward. Left hand down. Tabletop. Tuck the toes and hover the knees. Lower the knees. One cat-cow. Inhale to arch. Exhale, round. Neutral. Tuck the toes, hover the knees, and exhale back to a downward facing dog. Press up, press back, bend one knee at a time as you press the opposite heel toward the mat. A little bit of yes and no with the head and the neck, and make sure the weight is in the front part of your hands. Open up under the triceps, the armpits. Walk to the top of the mat. Separate your feet about hip width and ragdoll. So bend one knee at a time, bend both legs at a time. Don't worry about it taking time for your hamstrings to warm up. Mine are sore not sore every morning, but I have to start over almost a little bit every time. It feels like that's normal. Bring the feet together, soften the knees, and relax over the legs. Round up to standing. Bring the palms to touch. Reconnect to the present moment. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Palms face each other. Lengthen the tailbone down. Breathe. Notice the arms start to feel heavy. And lengthen through the side bodies. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hands to the mat, step the right foot back to a lunge. Forward fold at the top of your mat. Keep the knees soft. Exhale. Round up to standing. Arms overhead, bring the palms to touch. Interlace the fingers, index fingers out. Press a button on the ceiling for 3 breaths. Lift out, find normal standing, forward fold. Hands to the mat, left foot back, lunge. Forward fold at the top of the mat. Mangoes are starting to come in on the tree there, and the little baby ones are starting to fall off, and I hear them. Round up to standing. In a few weeks, there'll be like giant thuds out there, and then I go find them. Inhale, arms overhead. 3 breaths. Let's press a button on the ceiling again. Reaching up through the sides of the body. It's like you're reaching for something right up there. You can get it eventually. Lift out, forward fold. Halfway lift, long flat back. And from this look-up position, set your hands down and step back to a plank. Feel like you're floating. A little bit of a puff up through the shoulder blades. Lower all the way down to the mat. Bring your forehead to the left hand. For a quad stretch, bring the right foot in, press the hips forward and down. Switch. Come back to center. Cobra, tops of the feet are down. Flex the toes against the mat and feel the thighs start to engage already. Elbows in close. Lift up halfway using your back strength. Let's hold here for just a couple of breaths through the nose. And lower down. Tabletop. Downward facing dog. Look between the hands, walk or hop forward. Top of the mat, halfway lift, long flat spine. Exhale, forward fold. Round up to stand. Inhale, arms reach overhead, 3 breaths. Start to look at the ceiling. Find a gentle back bend, but reaching up very strongly. Lift out, swan dive forward. Halfway lift, long flat back. And from here, hands down, plank pose. Lower your knees to the mat. Child's pose on your elbows. So prop up onto the elbows. Each hand goes to its shoulder. Walk the elbows away and feel underneath the triceps stretching. It's also a moment to reconnect and realize we were here just a little bit ago and you've changed, you've been present. It feels good, right? I think so. Release your arms out in front of you. Make your way back to a plank. Oh no, my microphone just did. Hold on. Yeah, just hold a plank this whole time. I think I've taught like more than 100 classes, a few hundred classes with this mic. Please tell me that's linked below. Okay, tabletop. Nope, plank. And then let's lower all the way down. Extend your left arm out, shoulder height, palm down. Make a fist with your left hand, and you can use that hand with your right hand, And we're gonna roll onto the left hip, and your hand can be a pillow, opening the left shoulder and chest. Breathe slowly. This is one of my favorites. And switch sides. Right arm out. Come back to center. Bring your hands up on fingertips. So it's like cactus arms, but your hands are pointing down. Bring your forehead down and kind of feel the shoulder blades pinching together. This is opening through the chest. Separate the feet. They could be about hip width, mat width. We're going to press up, peeling yourself up. And exhale, lower back down. I'm not being too specific with how to do this. Find what works for you. Let's lift up again. You might not be able to stand on the fingertips. That's hand strength. And lower down. Let's do that once more. And release. Press up to a tabletop. Downward facing dog. Long exhale. Balance on your left foot. Lift the right leg up. Keep the hips square. Knee faces down. It's like you're trying to step on the wall behind you. One long line from the heel to the crown of the head, or the fingertips too. Two feet. Let's switch sides. Balance on the right leg. Lift the left. Two feet. Step, well, balance on the left foot so the right foot can step between your hands. Lunge into crescent lunge. So establish a strong foundation with the feet, hands to hips so the upper body can lift up and you're keeping the shoulders over the hips. Nice deep bend into the front knee. I know I could always go a little bit lower, and you're launching off the back foot. Arms reach overhead when balance is there. Palms face each other. Hold. Press down through the feet without getting any taller. Try not to arch the chest through. Pull in the core. Hands to the mat, framing the right foot. Right foot back plank. Downward facing dog. Bring the left foot between the hands, setting up crescent lunge. Someday you get to skip hands to hips, but I'm not sure when that is yet for me right now even. Because I know I arch my chest forward, arms overhead. I think it's because I have a long torso. Arms above your head. Relax the shoulders down. You can keep the elbows soft. For me, that helps me to kind of focus on the torso. And then as that gets stronger, you gently straighten the elbows while reaching the fingertips straight up. Hands to the mat, framing the left foot. Left foot back plank. Downward facing dog. Top of the mat, feet together, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Press to stand. Inhale, arms overhead. 3 breaths or back bend. Lift out, bring the palms to touch and stand up tall. Face the long edge of the mat, step the feet wide, hands to hips. Align the edges of the feet with the short edges of the mat. Hands to hips, forward fold. Long spine. And if this feels really far away, widen the stance. If this doesn't feel like enough, you'll shorten the stance. A little bit counterintuitive. You can hold up as elbows sway side to side. Halfway lift. Walk the hands forward, just about a handprint or two for a twist. Right hand down, left arm up. Keep the feet flat. Find that first resistance. So I feel it just about right here. We're going to hold and lengthen the spine. Press down into the right with the bottom hand. Using some strength to create flexibility, stability. Switch sides, left hand down, right arm up. Unshrug the left shoulder. Right hand down. Hands to hips, stand up. Heels in, toes out. Bend both knees, one hand on top of each leg to open up through the hips. Let's dip the right shoulder forward. Bring the left shoulder back. Switch. Come back to center. Bring your palms to touch. Let's be strong for a moment. Press the legs straight. Step to the top of the mat. Bring your feet together. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Let's make it 4 breaths. Lift out, forward fold. Halfway lift, long flex. And from here, hands down. All the way down to the stomach. Untuck the toes, cobra. Squeeze the legs strong. Lift up halfway. Lower. Press up. Tabletop, child's pose on the elbows. Tabletop. Downward facing dog. Stand on your left foot. Lift the right leg up. Keep the hips square. Press the hands away from you to open up under the shoulders. Squeeze the right leg a little bit taller. Step the right foot up about 3 feet. So it's just about underneath the heart. Step the left foot to the left, just about an inch, hands to hips, and stand up. So the stance here is just about a step, like your normal gait. It's a little bit bigger. Work the left hip forward. Right hand to the right hip, left arm overhead. Reach out, flat spine. We're just going down halfway. Draw the right hip back. You can actually press a little bit into the right hip flexor. And lift up. Bring your arms behind you. Hold opposite elbows. Roll the shoulder blades together. Lift the spine, lengthen, and come forward again halfway. Press down through the front of the right foot. Bring the right hip back. Lift up. Reach your arms overhead. Bring the palms to touch. Cross at the thumbs. Inhale. Keep your head between the hands. Reach up. And exhale. Tuck the chin. Round forward. Let's separate the hands and bend the right knee just enough to bring the forehead to the knee. This should feel uncomfortable. That means you're doing it right. Breathe. Bring the palms back to touch and round up. Hands to the mat. Step the right foot back to a plank. Lower all the way down. Cobra. Tops of the feet down. Lift up halfway. Lengthen the spine out long. Gaze is gentle. And release. Press up to a tabletop. Downward facing dog. Stand on the right foot, lift the left. Hips square, foot reaching away from you. Bring the left foot up, just a bit underneath the heart. Right foot is flat at 45 degrees. Stand up, hands to hips. Because this is beginner level. I also haven't gone through this sequence in a while. So going back to the foundations is always good. Left hand to the left hip, right arm overhead. Reach out, pull the left hip back. We're going just halfway. And stand up, keep the legs strong. Pressing through the front part of the left foot. Bring your elbows, hold opposite elbows behind the back. Remember to switch that grip out occasionally. And forward with a flat spine. Again, just halfway. Practice bringing the left hip back, pressing down through the outside of the right foot. And stand up. Bring your arms overhead. Re-square the hips toward the top of the mat. Palms together, cross at the thumbs. Reach up. Keep your head between the hands. And tuck the chin. Round forward. We are rounding the spine. Let's separate the hands. You're up on fingertips. Bend the left knee as much as you need to bring the forehead to the knee. Draw in the stomach around the spine. Breathe. Release. Bring the arms back to touch overhead and round up. That stimulates the thyroid, that jaw motion you just did. Release your hands down to the mat. Step the left foot back to plank. Lower all the way down for cobra. Strong legs. Float the upper body up. And lower. Press up to a tabletop. Child's pose on the elbows. Moving, I'm getting a little sweaty. All right, sit up, tabletop, and back to down dog. Walk to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, long flat spine. Exhale, fold forward. Round up to standing. Float the arms overhead. 3 breaths, or your back bend. Reach up so much. Lift out and lower your hands down to touch. Stand tall and reconnect to the present moment. Stand on the left foot, lift the right leg, hip height. Hands to hips if you need to, or just want to check. Draw the lower belly in. You have a right angle at the hip, the knee, flexion, light flexion of the foot. Leave your arms or palms together, or reach your arms overhead, palms face each other. Hands back to heart center. 2 feet. Utkatasana just for a count. And palms touch. Balance on the right foot, lift the left, hip height. Try not to lift the hip. You're lifting the leg, draw in the lower belly, and the palms touch. Stay where you can manage or challenge yourself and bring the arms overhead. Stay so lifted, so long in the torso. Bring the palms to touch as you lower the arms down. And then stand on 2 feet. Inhale, arms overhead. 3, let's do 5 breaths. Whoa. Lift, out, forward fold. Halfway lift, long flat back. And from here, hands down, plank. Lower all the way down. Cobra, lift up. Lower. Tabletop. Downward facing dog. Lift the right leg up behind you. Let the hip open. Squeeze the right leg so strong. Press the hands away from you. Pigeon right side. Right knee behind the right wrist. Modify as needed. And soften over the right leg. I always tell myself I'm just going to do like quick 20-minute flow. Then I got into it, and now it's been 40 minutes. Thank you for being here, by the way. I do this all the time. You can check my past live streams. Let me know what you're looking for in a yoga practice. Shoulders away from the ears a little bit. Relax your temples. A few more breaths where you are. Remember to respect where you are today and know that it's just a little bit at a time. Or sit up and practice your quad stretch. Bring the left foot toward you. Bring the right shoulder blade back. Press out and back to a downward facing dog. Lift the right leg up behind you. 2 feet. Stand on the right leg, lift the left. Hip opens. Don't let the shoulder, though, open. Press down through the left shoulder and reach the left leg away from you. Pigeon on the left side. Practice bringing your thoughts back to where you want them to be, which is just in this moment, this breath. Maybe you have a mantra you practice or enjoy repeating, just something to exercise your mind, your mental ability to choose your actions. Something just fell. A few more breaths right where you are. Or take your quad stretch or just practice lifting up. This can be a lot felt. You can really feel this in the right hip flexor and through side bodies before you even can think about getting the foot to you. There's a lot of other pieces that come together. And don't let that be daunting. That's just knowledge to keep in mind. So we want to practice yoga forever, right? I want to. Okay, back to downward facing dog with the left leg lifted for a 3-legged dog. And downward facing. Lower your knees to the mat. Stand up on your knees for camel. Knees about hip width. Tuck the toes to bring the heels closer to you. Start with your hands on the lower back. Roll the shoulder blades together. And imagine there's a string attached to your sternum, lifting up, or maybe there's a pair of little angel ghost hands lifting you up by the rib cage. Breathe here. This is a back bend. This is already pretty intense. You can feel your heartbeat lifting, elevating. One hand at a time, reach back for a heel, and keep lifting up through the chest, and then the neck opens up. One hand at a time, lift out. Sit down on your heels and sit up tall. You want to give the spine, all those nerves, a moment to process what's going on, reset. And you are resetting nerve patterns. And gosh, I'm not even doing that explanation justice, but it helps heal pain. It helps train your mind on a subconscious level. Let's do another one because that's just such great stuff. Hands on the lower back. Shoulder blades roll together. Press down through the tops of your feet the entire time. If you're on your toes, do your best to lift up and open through the chest. About 5 breaths. Lift out. Sit down. Breathe. Feel whatever you feel in the whole body, not just the obvious sensations, the more subtle feelings through the spine. Remind yourself of the temperature of the air, of the tops of your feet on the mat. One more time. Stand up. Roll the shoulder blades together. Lift up. And back. And up and up. Go back. Sit or lift up. Sit back. Just be. Bring your feet out and around in front of you. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees apart for butterfly legs. Hold the outsides of the feet, shoulders roll back and down. Sit up and over, butterfly legs. Sit up. Reverse tabletop. Soles of the feet down, hands are behind you, fingers point toward the heels. Try not to let the knees splay as you press and lift. Open up the neck if that's okay with you. Sit down. Extend your legs out in front of you. Sit up tall. Really lengthen out over the legs. If that's a lot, you can keep the knees soft. We want to lengthen out the spine that we were just moving, that was just working so hard for us. Sit up. Lie down. And draw. Give the spine a moment to reset, actually. Palms up. Lengthen out the lower back. Lower the chin slightly to untuck the shoulder blades. Full body stretch. And hug the right knee in. Interlace your fingers on top of the knee or find a box grip. If this made the chin stick straight up, don't pull the leg in so much. Release some of that squeeze and guide the right knee across to the left for a twist. Ooh, my back just popped. Right arm reaches out and away from you, palm down. Try to keep the shoulder down. And let's look straight ahead. Back to center. Reach the right leg toward the ceiling, toward the back wall. And reach the right leg out and away from you, arms overhead. Reach. Left knee hugs in. Switch out the interlacing of the fingers sometimes too. I know it feels really weird at first, but just try it. Twist. Left knee across to the right. Back to center. Both knees in, nose to knees. Rest your head and neck back. Happy baby. Soles of the feet face the ceiling. Elbows go inside of the knees. And uncurl the tailbone. You'll feel the feet press into the hands. You can practice. Work on straightening one or both legs at a time as well. In. Reach your legs up toward the ceiling. Hands underneath the lower back. Slowly, I went really fast. Lower your feet all the way down to the mat. Shavasana. Close the eyes. Let the entire body relax, including the muscles of your face, the breath, the thoughts. I will be in touch so we can close together. In the meantime, just exist. keep the eyes closed. Introduce a really deep breath. Fill all the way up. We're going to pause, hold at the top. Long exhale. Near the end of the breath, blink the eyes open. Imagine you can actually feel the light as it enters through the eyes. Gently reanimate. Hold on to whatever peace, serenity, presence you felt, either just now or over the course of the last little while. Hold on to that. Take that with you. That's part of what you just got here. And actually, I take that back. You didn't get that here. You kind of dusted off something that was already there. You have to do that every single day to really get the appreciation. But it's there. It's available. Let's sit up tall. Reach the left arm up and over. I love yoga. I could talk all day about it. Keep the left sit bone down. Lift out and switch sides. Turn it to dip forward. Keep this lengthening through the side. And reach both arms overhead for a closing breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Lower your hands down. Close the eyes once more. And remember that you are more than just this physical form. You have respect and you care for the physical form, but that's because you know that there is more to it than that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Blink the eyes open. Thank you, thank you. Until next time, namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much. If you're still here, you should try some of the stuff in the links below. Like there's a collagen I like, there's books I'm reading, and do subscribe and comment and show me love. All right. See you tomorrow or sooner. Gosh, why do I live? I need to learn lighting.